So I know my channel is normally Batman Forever and Batman and Robin related, but my other great love is Lupin III, which is a manga and anime that's been running for, well, the anime has been running for 50 years, as this book says. This is a book that came out in 2022. I just want to do a quick flick through it because when I was thinking about buying it, I really wanted to have a kind of closer look at what was exactly inside it. So I'm going to do that and just waffle over the top. So excuse me. So that is your back there, as you can see, Lupin III, the first movie there in the back, and that is your front. Nice little kind of like gloss on the actual illustrations. And then inside you've got 71, 81, 1991, and at the back you've got 2001, 2011 and 2021. So they're counting it from the first TV show, the Part 1 TV show. This is written by a guy named Reed Nelson, who, if you know your Lupin, he has written a lot of liner notes for things, edited by Mike Kennedy. I don't know him. But Reed Nelson has written a lot of liner notes for Lupin over the years in various kind of DVD sets. This is the first time him writing a book. Just having a look at the table of contents, you've got World of Lupin, you've got the characters, Story of Monkey Punch, production design, notable villains, cars, gadgets and guns, opening sequences, episode guide, and then you've got basically a guide for all the TV shows, all the TV specials, all the movies, and then finally the legacy of Lupin III. A lot of cool character designs and kind of, yeah, just kind of sketches and things. So you got a little bit about kind of the rough history, the world of Lupin. Very, very quick whistle to stop tour. And it comes right up to Lupin III Part 6, which came out, is it 2022? Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? And then, yeah, so going into the character profiles, you've got some cool kind of illustrations, designs of the various ways he's been drawn over the years. Part 2 is maybe my favourite. Part 3 was kind of wacky. And then 4, 5 and 6. Again, Jigen. And I think these are all taken from, you know, kind of internal, you know, animation, you know, designs, reference material and stuff. That's very cool. Again, splitting it by era. They put 4 and 5 together, I guess, because of the blue suit. Fujiko Mine and her various designs. She's had quite a few over the years. Zenigata. Apologies if I'm mangling some of these names. And then you got the story of Monkey Punch, which is, again, like a little bit of a biography. Obviously, you know, one and a bit pages on him. It's got a very interesting life. Obviously, Lupin was his big success, but he did write some other materials over the years. And you got production designs for the pilot. Just all black and white, but still really cool. Some of the characters, like, oh man, I can't remember half these guys' names. I know this is from the Miyazaki ones, the flying robot. Part 3. Sorry, trying to get it all on screen at the same time. And then some of the TV specials. The one called Fujiko Mine, the mini-series that they did. And then the 3 spin-off movies they did. Jigen's Gravestone, etc. Part 4. With Nyx and everyone. Part 5. And then finally, Part 6, which is the most recent one. I didn't care much for Part 6, and I think a lot of fans felt that way. It was okay, but yeah, I felt bringing Lupin to London should have been much more important. Right, so now we got the villains. It just covers some of the more memorable ones, so like Mr. X, Pykel, Mamo, Cagliostro, Union Mama. I haven't watched enough of Part 3, but yeah. And obviously Nyx and Leonardo da Vinci from Part 4. Obviously a lot more weighted towards the more recent stuff, like Lupin the First. The cars and the gadgets and stuff, very cool illustrations. The various cars he's had over the years. Obviously the old Citroen is the most famous. And some of the gadgets he's had: grappling hooks, Zenigata's handcuffs, the wingsuits, the cyber monocle, which he had in Part 5, which is very cool, and some of the sidearms Jigen's used mostly. And then we go into the opening sequences. Just, yeah, taking some stills from all 6 of them, which is kind of cool. Again, that part 2 for me is the one. And then finally we go into the episode guide. So it's split, yeah. So we literally get like a still and the director credited and when the original episode aired, and then a brief description of the episode, which is good. I mean, this is the bulk of the book now. The rest of the book is basically episode guides, giving you sort of like descriptions. But for someone like me, you know, there is a lot of Lupin out there, and it is fun just to kind of flick through and reminisce about certain episodes, and you forget things, don't you? You forget. And sometimes just seeing a still or just reading a snatch of description just kind of harkens back and makes you want to go and bring out that episode. Again, this is my favourite, probably part 2. It's the one where, you know, they first dubbed it. Some of these have all got the Geonon, is it? Pioneer titles that they changed them all to, like Who's Rooming Who, Disorient Express, Shakedown. They've had very kind of pun titles. Revenge of Leonard. But yeah, part 2 is definitely my favourite of the lot. Snake Charmer, Manual in Bangkok, getting jigging with it. Kooky Kabuki. And then I think somewhere around here we start going into the ones where they didn't dub them. And yeah, it's around here where the titles get a lot more just, yeah, oddly translated. Like the last gift in prison is cup ramen. Leave the revenge to Lupin. Yeah, they didn't dub these, so the titles aren't translated particularly well. There's the famous one where they rip off Superman with Lupin. Oh, sorry, no, confused. Sorry, that was one. No, that's the one where they rip off Lupin. Yeah, wow. Superman, sorry. Etc. I'm just going to flick through these a bit more quicker. That I remember because I have like a little toy statue of that character in that pose. And then, wow, they've really made a lot of part 2, didn't they? And then finally we get to, yeah, these are probably the last 2 most famous ones: the Wings of Albatross, the Wings of Death Albatross, the Heizo Miyazaki one, and Farewell, O Dearest Lupin. And then finally we go into the movie. Obviously it came out in '78, kind of in the midst of this, but they've kind of put it here. Mystery of Mamo, or Secret of Mamo, depending on what dub you've got. Castle Cagliostro. Again, these are mostly just, you know, synopses of the movie, but you do get a little bit of kind of background and kind of. It's particularly with Cagliostro. Obviously, it's a very famous movie, so you get a bit on the history and development here, which is cool, and the influence and appeal. You know, it has been referenced a lot, and a lot, yeah, way more than I thought you'd get. A little map here of the Cagliostro, which is very cool. Schematics and design for the castle grounds. Then some character sketchbooks for the movie. And then we go into the crazy part 3. I've only watched some of these. I haven't got the Blu-ray version that Discotheque put out yet, but I will at some point. But yeah, you've got to be in the right frame of mind. They are way more wacky and crazy and over the top, and the art style is all over the shop. But yeah, I didn't dislike it. And sorry, I've only just noticed here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, but it goes 71, 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 2021, and you get like a little kind of Lupin kind of stick man, and he's kind of like moving along as you go through. It's kind of cool. And obviously Legend of the Gold of Babylon there, the movie that they did. Only a very short one on there, which is a shame, because I think that has some really interesting bits. it's an interesting movie. Then we go into the Fuma Conspiracy, which was a kind of direct-to-video production, and then there's all the TV specials now. So Bye Bye Lady Liberty, Hemingway Papers, etc. So they're much quicker now. Farewell to Nostradamus, obviously that was a film. And Dead or Alive, that was another film. Return of Pike Owl for some reason gets quite a big thing, even though it was only an OVA, and it's not very good, to be honest. Episode 0, Operation Return the Treasure. That is probably one of my favourites. I know it riffs a lot on Castle Cagliostro and stuff, but I think Lupin doing the opposite and going and returning a load of treasure is, yeah, it's a really great idea. Swallowtail Tattoo, which I think is just coming out soon. I think for years that was called something like Stolen Lupin. But anyway, yeah, moving on. Green versus Red. I like this a lot, and there's tons to unpack in this. It's, yeah, I don't really want to get into the plot, but you get all the designs that he's had all over the years, which is great. Lupin vs Detective Conan. Now, wasn't there a movie and maybe that's later on. Last Job, Blood Seal of Eternal Mermaids, Lupin Family All Stars. Now this is only like a 10-minute thing. I don't know that I've seen that actually. Then you got Woman Fujiko Mine. You get a episode by episode synopsis for that as well. Again, it's been a long time since I watched this, but I do remember all the owl people in it with the masks and stuff. But it was a good, yeah, it was a good show. Secret Page and Marco Polo. Don't think I've seen that one. Princess of the Breeze. I think I have seen that. Then Jigen's Gravestone, which is a spin-off from Fujiko Mine miniseries. And you get Part 4, which was sort of like a bit of a rejuvenation for Lupin. It'd been, you know, was getting a little bit stale doing all the TV movies all the time. And yeah, it was a really, I need to go back. I don't have enough time and rewatch this. It's a great show. So episode by episode synopsis for that. I've forgotten a lot of it, but I do remember all the Da Vinci stuff. I remember that one, High School Undercover. Yeah, and the crazy Venice of the Dead one. I don't think I ever watched the Italian Game, but I know that was sort of like a rejig of some of the episodes. Goemon's Blood Spray, which is, yeah, probably the most memorable of all the Fujiko Mine ones. Then you get Part 5, which again I really enjoyed. I need to go back and rewatch. I loved all these little ones where they put kind of older episodes, standalone episodes. And this one was really fun, Lupin versus the Smart Safe, where it's a Pink Jacket episode, and they do it kind of in that style. Lupin's got to lower his brain score to 0 to open a safe. Oh dear. Viva Lupin, which was great. It's a wonderful ending. Part 4 and 5 are great. Is Lupin Still Burning? I don't think I've seen this one. I'm not sure. It's probably on a DVD somewhere. Fujiko's Lie. I enjoyed that. It was okay. And then some of the more recent specials, Goodbye Partner, Prisoner of the Past. I've still not seen either of those. Wow, they did 2 in a year, 2019, January and November. And then Lupin III, the first, the CGI movie. Obviously, there's a little bit more on this because it's more recent, and I think there's more to say. I liked it well enough. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, so this is some of the development and production of this, and a lot of the designs and things. Yeah, I don't think they quite nailed the design of him. I don't know. It was okay. Yeah. And yeah, it was a very overly familiar story, maybe. And then Part 6, which is the most recent one that just came out. Well, it came out in 2021, apparently. Wowie. I didn't remember that. Yeah, this was, yeah, odd. It didn't quite work. It wasn't quite funny enough. The stories weren't quite memorable. There were some really weird episodes, like The Killers in the Diner, which were, yeah, didn't click. And then halfway through it transfers Lupin to New York and has this other plot about his mother. And yeah, I wasn't super pumped about that. And then the legacy, and yeah, first 50 years are just beginning. Yeah, so again, various kind of little bits, snippets of things where people have referenced Lupin. But yeah, it's a cool book. I liked it a lot. That's back, and that's it. So yeah, I would recommend this. It is essentially, you know, an episode guide with some little bits of trivia in there. But all the designs are really cool, and it's always fun to go back and reread some of the crazy plots and things. This reminds me a lot of, and I'll just get it, this book. And now I can't speak or read a word of Japanese, but it's all the animation histories, Lupin III translated under there, and it was for the 40th anniversary. And I picked this up for a few quid and got it delivered from Japan, and it's basically the same thing, but for the 40th anniversary. So there's lots of kind of episode guides, there's a lot more colour pictures of the various kind of, yeah, kind of character designs and villains, and again, gadgets and things. The various designs, I like that a lot, being able to see all the designs that Jigen and things have had over the years. And Fujiko, and then the various kind of episode descriptions, which I think is the back of this now, and the various TV movies. But yeah, that was something that I picked up that's essentially the same thing, but I'm glad I have this one because I can't speak Japanese or read Japanese, so I really need the English version. I would highly recommend this. I think it retails for about 25 quid, maybe 30 quid, but I think it's worth it, because I think, you know, Lupin III deserves, you know, has a lot of English fans, and I think the more we try and buy this kind of stuff, the more publishers and things are going to take notice and publish stuff, you know. So yeah, I would recommend this. Get it if you can.